Are you struggling to survive past the first night in the forest, getting completely jump scared by that deer out of nowhere? Yeah, you're in the right place. In this explainer, we are breaking down all the essential strategies to take you from a frantic survivor to an absolute master of the wilderness. And we're going to start with the most critical moments of the game. This line right here, this is basically the whole game in a nutshell. It's this constant battle between managing your resources to keep that fire going and, defending yourself from all the terrors that are just waiting for you right outside that little circle of light. Let's be honest, we've all been there. You're just minding your own business, chopping a tree, and then bam, you get that jump scare and you're right back in the lobby. That deer is kind of like a rite of passage, but today, we're going to learn how to outsmart it and pretty much everything else this forest decides to throw at us. Look, whether you succeed or fail in 99 nights is pretty much decided in the first couple of minutes. A strong start gives you this huge resource advantage that just snowballs. But a weak start, well, that means you're going to be playing catch-up the entire time. So let's make sure you get it right from the jump. I know, it's so tempting to look at those shiny, expensive classes in the lobby and just spend all your hard-earned diamonds. But trust me on this, hold off. You really don't need them yet. The smartest play is to learn the fundamentals of the game first, with a much cheaper option. So which class should you actually pick? Well, for just 25 diamonds, the Scavenger is, without a doubt, the best value you can get. That little bit of extra sack space is a huge advantage for gathering resources in the early game. Master the game as a Scavenger, save up those diamonds, and then you can go for the flashier options later on. The second you load in, that clock is ticking. Don't wander off. Your first 3 moves should always be these. Chop some wood, feed the fire, and then immediately start running to find a building. Those structures are your lifeline for fuel, for chests, and for some seriously valuable gear. Okay, so you survived night 1. Hey, congratulations! Now the real game begins. On day 2, your priorities are going to shift toward a single, major objective that will totally set you up for the rest of the game. On the second day, a very important visitor is going to arrive, the Pelt Trader. This guy is your ticket to a massive early game power boost, but of course he doesn't just give it away for free. He wants something very specific in return. So, as you're exploring on that first day, make sure you hunt any rabbits you see. It really only takes a few tries to get a rabbit's foot. Just keep that in your inventory, and when the trader shows up, you'll be ready to make a really critical trade. Now, the trader is going to offer you a choice, a good axe or an old flashlight. The answer is always the axe. It's not even a debate. You can easily find flashlights inside buildings, but that good axe dramatically speeds up your wood gathering, and it even works as a decent weapon in a pinch. Seriously, do not take the flashlight. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. This is a core principle for pretty much any experienced player. The axe is the key to speeding up your resource gathering, and that is everything in this game. All right, with your new axe and a little bit of breathing room, it's time to stop just surviving from one night to the next. We're going to start building a proper, sustainable base that's going to carry you deep into the late game. 3. That tiny little number. It's the cost of arguably the single best investment you can possibly make in this entire game. Yup, for just 3 pieces of wood, you can craft a map, and this changes everything. No more getting lost, no more wasting precious daylight just trying to find your way back to camp. You can explore with total confidence, knowing exactly where you are and how to get back. It's an incredible return for such a tiny investment. So here's your checklist, your game plan. First, you craft that map. Second, build the old bed to help speed up the day counter. Third, get that crafting bench upgraded to tier 2 to unlock better recipes. And notice what's at the bottom? The bunny trap. Just ignore it. It is not worth the resources this early on. Okay, this is a huge mistake I see new players make all the time. After a couple of weeks in-game, they've chopped down every single tree in sight, and then suddenly they're in a massive resource crisis. Sound familiar? This whole problem starts with a very simple habit you need to build early on. And here is the solution. Every single time you chop down a tree, replant the sapling. But don't just plant them anywhere. Plant them in a really dense ring right around your campfire. Not only does this give you a sustainable wood supply right on your doorstep, but it also creates a natural wall that slows down and blocks enemies. It's this brilliant 2-for-1 strategy that you absolutely have to use. So as the nights keep ticking by, the threats are going to get bigger and scarier. Just surviving isn't enough anymore. You're going to need a real long-term plan for handling those invasions and, of course, emergencies. Okay, let's talk about healing. You've got two main items, bandages and medkits. The key here is to use them strategically. Bandages are craftable, and they are perfect for reviving your friends when they go down. You need to save those rarer, more powerful medkits for healing yourself when you are in real trouble. Don't waste a big heal on a teammate who just needs a cheap bandage. All right, let's finish up by talking about the things that are actively trying to hunt you down in the dark. Knowing your enemy, as they say, is half the battle. We all know that heart-stopping screech of the deer, but trust me, after night 5, you're going to meet a brand new terror. The owl is this relentless, unkillable threat that completely changes how you have to play the game at night. So here's the rundown. You cannot kill it, so don't even try. It gets faster the longer it chases you, which means you can't outrun it forever. Its only weakness is a beam of light. Remember that flashlight you found earlier? Well, this is its moment to shine. A quick flash will stun the owl, and that'll give you just enough precious seconds to get away. And there's a new monster on the block, the ram. If you're anywhere near the volcano biome, listen for its snorting and huffing sounds. When it charges, do not run in a straight line. You've got to juke at an angle and try to put trees or rocks between you and it. But be warned, it will smash right through your carefully planted tree defenses, so you have to lure it away from your base. So there you have it. That is a complete strategic guide from your very first minute to your final nights. We've covered classes, upgrades, base building, and the nightmares lurking in the dark. You have the tools now. The only question left is, can you put it all into practice and survive? Good luck out there.